One of the things I love to film and photograph the most are trains. So today's photo walk brings us right here to Steamtown National Park, located here at Scranton, Pennsylvania. They have a great collection of locomotives and rolling stock and should allow for plenty of photo opportunities. Now, since it is a bright sunny day and train equipment is of the larger size, I want to be able to control my focal length, so today I'm using my 18 to 140 millimeter lens paired with my Nikon D5600. So without wasting more time, grab your camera and let's capture some moments. Starting off is one of the biggest locomotives in the world and the biggest one here at Steamtown, big boy number 4012. I actually watched this move to this position earlier this year, and if you haven't seen that video, I recommend checking it out. I'll have it linked down below in the description, but this is a huge locomotive, somewhat hard to photograph depending on what kind of look you want to get. Now obviously we have some obstacles in front of us, benches and plaques and stairs going up to the cab, so we can't get a super wide clean shot, but we can focus on a few key things. We could get a wider established shot with these things in the foreground, and then we could focus on a few close-up details, and then we could also go on the other side and pair it up with, I believe, 2124, which is over there. So let's see what we could do as far as lining this up. I think we're going to have to come a bit on the side here. Thankfully the sun is hitting this side, and yeah, I still can't even get all of it in the frame, so we need to back up. This is a super long locomotive. I'm not a big fan of straight on shots, so we're gonna do an angle. Yeah, that's gonna work. We're gonna wait for this car to pass, and I'm gonna get the first established shot. I'm gonna focus towards the front of the locomotive, and then I'm gonna reposition it. And that's our first shot right there. Nice, clean, easy shot, showing it in all its scale and glory. The next shot I want to get, probably going to be head on here. I want to get the plate here, 4012, and then get the rest of it behind it. So I think I want to come at an angle. I'm going to zoom it in a bit, focus on that plate, recompose it, and let's try that right there. That actually works for me. All right, you got two beasts next to each other, 4012, 2124. So I want to show them side by side, and what I want to focus on, I want the attention to be on 2124. So I'm going to focus on that, recompose so they're framed up right, and most of the focus is going to be on 2124, but a little bit dark. I'm going to raise exposure, try that one more time. There we go, that's a bit better. So not only is there steam, but there's also diesel locomotives we could photograph. These are Delaware Lackawanna Alco units, and the shot I want to get is going to be the nose of that lead locomotive with the C&J train station right behind it. And this is where the zoom is going to come into great benefit for us. So we're going to focus on that. I'm going to readjust my exposure, readjust. Okay, a little bit dark. Take that one more time. There, that's a nice shot right there. Now, one shot I absolutely love to do, and you can do this with your smartphone or any camera that you're using to take pictures, is a rail shot. And whether it's just a bare rail with nothing on it, or for this instance, a locomotive on it, we have two different shots we could get. So I'm gonna get down here close. So there's two shots I wanna capture. The first one's gonna be the rail being in focus close to us with the train behind it, out of focus. So the rail is the focal point, but we know there's something sitting on it. And the second picture is going to be the same orientation, but the train's going to be in focus, the rail out of focus. And all we got to do, I'm going to flip out my lens. We're going to basically rest the camera right here on the tracks. I'm going to focus right in front of me, recompose, And that looks like a pretty awesome shot right there. So once again, we're gonna retake the shot. I'm gonna focus on the locomotive, come down close to the track, and there we go. Except that one's a little bit too dark. Let's do that one more time. There we go. Two great shots, same perspective, just depends on what you want to have in focus as the main focal point right there. Now another creative shot we could get is using this dead grass right here. Actually, I have a better shot, I think. We're gonna come up here to the frog, which is where the trains intersect the two different tracks here by the switch. And we have some dead grass and old number 47 sitting here. So we're gonna get a few different compositions here in order to pull the shot off. So first off, I'm gonna flip out the screen. We're gonna get down low. We're gonna zoom in a bit, and I'm gonna focus on the locomotive, but I wanna bring the camera down nice and low so we get the tracks and the grass in the foreground. Okay, I'm gonna try it one more time, portrait-wise. There we go. Got the grass, the rails, and the locomotive all in one shot. Now let's get a nice profile shot here of number 47. I'm gonna focus on the nose of it, recompose it, showing it's hooked up to some freight cars. And there we go. A little bit darker, but that's what I wanted to go for since it is more of a vintage, rustic looking locomotive. Doesn't need to be super bright. Gives it a more mysterious look. And we could take it a step further. We could go up to 47 and find a piece of it that we could focus on, get a close, detailed shot. So let's see what we can find here. You know, I like these front lead wheels. Got the white walls on them, chain hanging, so I'm gonna get down level with them. And maybe make this a black and white shot. May experiment a little bit with editing. But I'm gonna focus, recompose a little bit, get that chain showing it. Okay, not bad. I'm gonna try one more time, a little bit brighter. It is a darker shaded, shadowy area. So, okay, that gives us enough brightness and detail to see everything, and I can work with that. The next thing I wanna do is gonna be the wheels on the rails. And I think I wanna, let's see, how do I wanna compose this? Yeah, we wanna do it like this. And I want to get the front wheel, the closest one, in focus. And I'm going to recompose it. Actually, let me crop it in a little bit more. When I say crop, I'm just zooming it in. That looks good right there. And just to demonstrate what I was mentioning before, rail shots are great even if there's no trains on the tracks. So right here, gonna get down close to it, focus in front of me, recompose that. Okay, a little bit too blurred out actually. I want to raise the aperture a bit so the back is not so blurry. Okay, I'm going to reverse that shot, focus down rail, come down close. Again, same perspective, two different completely unique looking shots. I just remembered another shot we could get. We could actually get the silhouette of these locomotives with the sun behind it. So I'm going to purposely turn down the exposure a third of a step. And we're going to make these two locomotives here be more like silhouettes. There we go. Exactly what I was looking for. Another rusty relic here is number 1. Smaller locomotive. 262 wheel configuration. And I'm just going to make this a really saturated photo. So what I want to do is capture it, and during editing I'm going to raise the saturation to make it really pop. The rust colors and the blue sky. Now, one of the most unique and most intimidating pieces of equipment here is right here on our left. And if you can't guess what it is, it has to deal with snow. This is a steam-powered rotary snowplow. Technically, it is like a snowblower. It does throw the snow, but it is labeled as a rotary snowplow. Just imagine this giant bladed wheel spinning, coming at you. That would be intimidating for sure. And we're gonna get a photograph of it, but it's gonna be not the best composition just because we do have things in front of it. I can't get straight on, can't get super wide, so we're gonna work with what we can here. Since this is taller, I'm gonna go portrait wise right here. And it's a shadowy area, so I'm gonna raise the exposure, readjust. Still a little bit too dark. Got to raise that exposure a bit more. Now, when I say it's too dark for the look I'm going for, because it's a suitable photo, but unless you are skilled at editing, the shadows are going to be hard to bring out, and you may not know what you're looking at. So that's why I do try to get it as close as I can to the look I want within the camera. Okay, now looking towards the roundhouse, we do have some equipment parked inside there. Looking towards the roundhouse, we have some equipment parked inside. And I think we could get a pretty cool shot of that Erie Lackawanna unit right there. So I'm gonna zoom it in. We're gonna use those beams as like framing. And we're gonna try to get that right there. Perfect, that's what I was looking for. Now, we got another one right in front of us, straight down the rail. So I'm gonna stand just by the edge of the rail, zoom in, wait for that individual to pass by. I'm gonna angle it down a little bit to show that we're standing by the rails leading right to that locomotive. So here we could get a creative shot. We have number 790 over there, and we could get a kind of revealing shot peeking behind this locomotive at that one. So it's going to be looking around the edge of it here. That's exactly what I was looking for. It's like we're peeking around at that one, and did it just in time as there's people walking by. I'm going to focus on the closest one. Recompose a little bit. All right, awesome.
They're great, aren't they?
Yeah, I love them.
You want to get in a picture with them?
No, I'm doing a video for photography.
Oh, I was going to say, I'll take a picture.
That's okay. Thank you. Oh, holidays are right around the corner. We'll give number 790 a nice head-on shot with her wreath. So a similar shot we got outside with the steam locomotives we're going to do with these two units here. We're going to make them be silhouettes. Got the sun in the background behind the building. And these are freshly painted by Delaware Lackawanna in the Erie Lackawanna paint scheme. Paint homage, almost like heritage units. So they look practically brand new, even though they are older locomotives. But let's get down here. I'm going to bring down the exposure. I'm going to focus on this closer one. Recompose. Now we're going to get a nice close-up shot of the number board. Going to angle it a bit. Nice. Now there are other locomotives inside the roundhouse, but it's much darker in there. So I'd have to switch to my 35mm lens. That I could do on a separate day. So if you want to see me return to do some interior shots of locomotives and equipment, not only inside the turntable roundhouse area, but there's also the museum and technology area with a lot of photographic opportunities, including a mock-up train station area. So if you'd like to see me return and photograph that stuff, let me know. I'd be glad to do it. Okay, nice nose-to-nose shot right here. Now here's a simple yet creative shot we could get with the rolling trucks here, all the wheels. And depending on what you want to focus on, well, that's up to you. What I like to do is possibly get either the riffles on the back of the wheel or the wording and numbers on the back. But I want to do it so that we're looking past something. So I'm going to experiment here. Looking past the hardware here. I'm going to focus on that. Okay, not bad. I'm going to try that again. This time, I want to have the wording as our focal point. There. Again, simple, nothing extravagant, but it's a creative shot rather than just standing here getting a picture like that. Part of the movement for the day when they moved 4012 was also moving number 15 and this rolling stock down here, which greets you when you enter the park. And since it's in a brand new position, right at the leading edge of the rails and the road, should allow for more than ample photo opportunities. All right, we got a few things we can work with here. One shot that's calling my name is looking at it head on through the branches here of this little bush. Just want to bring this one out of the way. So we're gonna get down a little bit lower. We're gonna zoom in a bit, focus on the locomotive, recompose it. Okay, a little bit too dark. Do have a lot of shadows here, so we have to contend with that. Let's do that one more time. Perfect. Now the sun facing from my right shoulder, it's showing almost directly on number 15. So I'm gonna sit here on the guardrail and get a wider shot. Now I can't see all the rolling stock because of the curvature. So what I'm gonna do is have the towers and the city as the backdrop. A little bit silhouetted. It's actually not a bad shot. For comparison though, I'm going to do one more shot raising the exposure, and I'll pick which one whatever one I like best. Got a little bit of color here on this bush, some purple flowers. I think that'd be a great photo where we can have the flowers in focus and the train behind it slightly out of focus. I'm saying train, obviously it's a locomotive. I can even do a color pop here too, possibly. I get enough purples in the image here. That's what I was looking for right there. As my friend Adam Tresca would say, that's the money shot. I've always been a fan of revealing shots, so I have one more I'm going to do, not to overdo it, but this one, again, is just set up perfectly. So we're going to use this evergreen bush here, tuck in nice and close to it, literally get the camera in there, focus on the locomotive, the lead of it, recompose it. All right, that works. Another shot we could get to is looking past the wheels at the rivets of the boiler here. So gonna kind of do portrait wise, recompose that a little bit. Yep, that's gonna be another black and white photo. This one's gonna be a more rather simple shot, sitting on the bench here. Got this open hopper car right in front of us, and we're just gonna focus on that and then recompose it to get the rest of the cars behind it. Simple yet effective. Here's gonna be a nice detailed shot beneath the box car here. The truck set, wheel set, it's got some warding, some springs, a lot going on. So we're gonna zoom in a bit and just give this a nice little primary shot, close up and detailed. This ramp used to be the old coal dock, and they have it gated off. We can't go all the way, but we can come up here a little bit, get some elevation, get a couple different shots. So, right in front of us, number 47 once again. And get an elevated shot of her. Really difficult with this lighting, although it's a gorgeous day out. Not the best for photography with the extreme lighting. You know, we may just have to make that a silhouette shot. I'm gonna bring it down even lower. We're gonna see the outline of it, but the finer details just won't be there. Sometimes that's what you have to do. Sacrifice one thing for another. One shot I want to get here is using the railing. Got all the little squares here. So I want to focus on the number 47 on the cab, but it's me looking through the grating here. Let's try it one more time. I moved a little bit too much. There we go. Perfect. Now, although this is not a piece of equipment, it is part of rail history. So since it's a former coal dock, got nice long leading lines. So just a nice, simple, easy shot. We're gonna come up here on the railing. I'm gonna focus down as far as I can. Recompose it. I'm actually gonna rest the camera down here. And we're gonna try that shot right there. That's actually a really cool shot. I liked how that turned out. I have one more shot, number 47, I want to take. If you couldn't tell, number 47, I love photographing for a multitude of reasons. Just love the look of it. But now that the sun's lower, I want to get the nose of number 47 with the bright contrast of the sky behind it. So the nose of it's going to be dark, silhouetted, and a nice blue contrast behind it. And that is exactly what I was looking for right there. I'm gonna walk around and see if I find any more photo opportunities. In the meantime, check out my MFS OTD, my favorite shots of the day. I did capture 75 photos, and I think out of those I definitely got a few good ones. IMFS OTD were my favorites. Let me know which ones you enjoyed as well. As I mentioned, lighting conditions are not ideal. Really bright sun right now, especially that's now at an angle. And when you're shooting with bright sun against dark subjects like black steam locomotives, well, exposure gets kind of tricky. You're either gonna have pictures over or underexposed, and I opted for a lot of underexposure purposely for that reason. And I think it worked out in this environment. And these are the looks that I want to get Someone else though may want to have a completely different look, completely different composition, completely different exposure, and that is perfectly fine. That's the great thing about the art of photography, is it's different from everyone's eye. I try to share it with you differently than most people will share it or take that picture. I had a great time here at Steamtown. A lot of great things to check out. If you're ever in the area, stop here, check it out for yourself, and hopefully enjoyed a look at one of the things I absolutely love to film and photograph, nothing more other than trains. Thanks so much for coming along. As always, I'll see you behind the camera real soon. Thanks for watching.